Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video, I'm doing a review of the Essential Planner from Peacock Paper. This one is the 2 pages per week horizontal version. I'll include the links below to the other ones from this planner company, which is the day to a page, and there's also a vertical hourly. So this is what I would call a medium planner. It is about 7.5 inches wide by about 9.5 inches high. Now the hardcover does extend a little bit beyond the pages to protect the tabs, so the pages inside are probably around about 7 by 9. It's about 0.75 inch thick, so it is getting on the thick and heavy side. You could take this one with you, but it would be quite heavy, so keep that in mind. You might need to leave this one at home and take a photo of it so you have your plans with you. So similar to the other ones from this brand, you've got a pocket folder on the front and the back cover fixed directly to that hardcover. So as you can see, probably can't fit too much in there, maybe a couple of envelopes of mail on your way out the door. The inside is all very similar with black and white scheme. You've got the same dates at a glance calendars. Really like this little holidays list down the bottom here on the same page as the dates at a glance. If you haven't already noticed, it is a US planner, so it does have the US holidays pre-printed. The monthly calendar pages are very similar between each of the different versions from this company. The only thing that really changes is the sidebar. Not really a fan of the gifts and cards, probably wouldn't use that, but you could get a header sticker or just some whiteout and convert that into extra list making space. It starts on a Sunday, which is unfortunately not consistent with the weekly spread that starts on a Monday. Has the little dates at a glance for the next month. And one last thing that I'm going to point out is this one does do the annoying split boxes on the monthly. Let me just find one that does it, like here. So kind of annoying. I would white that out, white out the date, and then restart the numbering on the top row, because you've got all of these vacant boxes here, and then why would you try and shove everything into that? Just doesn't make sense to me. So just my usual rant about any planner that has that. So moving on, you do get a fair few extra pages with these planners. So they all have this monthly budget, which they're keeping up with the times because it's got a little Netflix thing on there. And it's got all of the typical expenses and then some note section down the bottom. Handy page to have. Some lying notes pages. This is super bright white paper, really like it. And as you can probably see, it's not too bad. Like it's got a design printed on the back of it, but it's not like ghosting through. So not too bad. The weekly pages have this kind of overview with a meal planning, grocery list, household to do and don't forget. The grocery list is a good idea, but I just don't think that's going to be enough space realistically to plan your grocery list. So at least you have this entire blank notes page on the right here, which you could use for your grocery list instead, or you could just add a sticky note as well. So after the overview pages, we go into the actual weekly spreads. There's a fair bit going on with this one. The reason I wanted to get it was just to have a look because it is different to most of the generic horizontal that you've probably seen, which either just have a lined space or they'll usually be like that with the checklist on one side. This one has a whole extra little section for like meals and health checks. Now, I don't really understand why you'd have a meals printed again on the weekly when you've got it already here, you know what I mean? So I'd probably get a header sticker and convert that into something else, maybe top priority or a weekly goal, or convert it into a quote, because this is quite detailed. Like you've got every single meal, so kind of don't get why you'd repeat it again. Anyway, so you get a full box for all of the weekdays, and then over here for the weekend, unfortunately they do squeeze it together. I would probably white out the next week section and make this like Sunday over here, and then maybe convert that into Saturday, because it's just kind of the proportions are out. So yeah, I don't really understand why you'd have a note section and a next week, but then you shove Saturday and Sunday together really small. So maybe this would be better suited for a 9 to 5, like if you're working a day job and you don't have much happening on the weekend, probably be ideal layout for you. But for me, that's just not enough space on the weekends, and I don't think that would really work for a student either, unless maybe you listed your study stuff down the bottom and just ticked it off as you went, instead of allocating it to a specific day of the weekend. So same thing, continued throughout. You've got the weekly overview page, lined, and then it starts the spread again. I think I already noted it, but the start day of the weekly does not correspond with the monthly. Month start on Sunday, week start on Monday. So same thing, continue throughout. It's got the same tabs as all of the other planners from this company. So I'd probably just abbreviate it to 3 letters because it is a bit small to read, especially when it's the long names. It's just thin cardstock. As you can see, it's quite flexible. However, it is protected by this cover that extends quite a bit beyond the page, so they are protected. And then at the back, it's got a couple of little extra pages. So it has some travel planning, which is a good idea, but it is a very brief page. Like, that's it, just 2 pages to jot down some ideas. Probably wouldn't use it because it's just not enough room to write. You could repurpose this into a password log, which I think is much more practical, or you could just white that out and use it as extra line space. Then some contacts pages, which I'm not sure why planners are still including, because most people just put that on their phone, but they're there if you want them. And then some line notes pages at the back. You do get quite a few of these. Let me just show you. Quite a few. Some planners these days are only including like 2, which is just useless. This one actually has a couple. And then you've got that pocket folder again at the back. And then same design on the back cover as is on the front. So overall, it is a functional planner. I do really like the extras that are interspersed at the front of the week. Just not sure about that combined Saturday, Sunday. So if you do like this planner, I will include the link below to a blog post which will have all the details, like the dimensions, etc. That will be below. And don't forget to also look at the other reviews from this brand if you like the overall aesthetic and the fonts and everything. There is a vertical hourly, like appointment style, and there's also a day to a page layout as well. So those links will be below, and don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of planner review videos each week. The button is below, and I'll see you in the next one.